What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age 2. So, last episode, we took care of Sebastian. We went to the Harriman's estate and found out why the Harrimans decided to exterminate the Vale family. Well, it turns out they were expanding their bougie-ass mansion, and they excavated and unearthed a desire demon in a demonic ritual site. Of course, the desire demon then twisted the entire Harriman family's desires against them, and the mother had nothing but a lust for power, and so she ended up manipulating and selling her children to the arms of the demon in order for the demon to support her play for the Vale throne for Starkhaven. Anyways, we put a stop to that. We killed the mother, and I think most of the Harrimans actually died there, apart from the daughter. She pledged to Sebastian to make amends and try and do her best to fix that. And that was pretty much where we left that. We did end with a conversation with Sebastian where we said he would make a good ruler, which I truly believe he would. And then we left him there in the chantry to ponder his future, after giving him our opinion, of course, that he should take the throne and avenge his family. Quick little thing, I guess, to touch on is I did respec my character. I talked a little bit about it last episode, how I was thinking about respecing and making things a little different for our build here, getting rid of some of the useless abilities that we weren't really using or going to be using going forward. So the attributes all stayed completely the same. I just respec those back in. What actually changed here is I no longer have a point into Scythe. I put that down here instead into Stagger Trees. I obviously took the point out of Pommel Strike. We don't really need that anymore. And the only reason I kept Mighty Blow is because Mighty Blow is a really good stun. So sometimes when you see those Blood Mages start to cast that bullshit, you don't want them to get it off. You hit them with a Mighty Blow, it'll knock them back because of the physical force. It'll stun them out of the little proc right there. And then I did jimmy around this. So we now only have 2 points in Reaver. I have Blood Frenzy and Devour. Obviously we want to get this back up to Fervor as quickly as possible. But I put the rest of those points into the Berserk tree. So now we have Death Blow, which is a minimum 5% of my stamina refunded on enemy death. We have Barrage, which is the 50% attack speed for 20 seconds. It's 20 seconds now because we have the 10-second duration. It used to be 10, now it's 20. And then we have the cost of Berserk now is it takes 2 less stamina per hit. So it was 5. I think it was 5, and now it's 2 less. And then this is plus 5% damage of remaining stamina. So we'll get this eventually, and then I think probably this, and then that'll be it for this tree. I might dip into Adrenaline a little to get some of this stuff, but maybe this one, Adrenaline Rage, maybe we'll get into. But in general, I'm only after these 2 perks, and then I'll probably cut my losses on this tree, and then start beefing up the Reaver tree. Just until Fervor. Fervor is what we need here, really. I did respec my other 2 companions. We are really close to being able to do the tactics video for you guys. I'm not going to do that just yet, but rest assured, maybe in like a video or 2, I think, we'll be ready for the build tactics guide for Dragon Age 2. Now, my big opening tangent out of the way, excuse me for that. We are here in the Gallows today because we are going to do Prime Suspect, which is speak to Emeric in the Gallows. We talked to Aveline about this briefly, and she said that Emeric had a lead on the serial killer potential in Kirkwall. Obviously, we had that with Ghislaine's wife, and then the Circle Mage that went missing, and they both got lilies from a secret admirer before they went missing. So, let's see what Emeric's got for us. His instincts seemed dead on the first time we talked to him.
Hello, Emeric. Aveline says you need my help again.
I've spent the past few years continuing my investigation into the murders of Ninette, Marin, and the other women. I believe I finally have a suspect. A man called Gascard Du'Puis.
Sounds like an old legion to me.
Is this man in hiding? Am I to find him for you?
No, I know where Du'Puis is. I just can't get to him.
Old legions aren't going to get much benefit of the doubt from me.
I went to the city guard and demanded that they do something. The guards raided his mansion and found nothing. They were forced to apologize, and I was reprimanded.
That explains why Aveline doesn't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole.
But she didn't say I couldn't seek outside help.
Well, I'm your man, because I happen to believe your instincts here.
Were you the only person investigating these murders?
Yes, unfortunately. The Templar Order believes this is a matter for the City Guard. And the City Guard, well, they rejected my evidence and dismissed the murders as isolated incidents. They don't care either. Women are dying out there, and no one's doing anything.
To be honest, I would be on board with the guards were it not for the flowers. Kirkwall is a shitty place. There's slums and cesspools all over the place here. Between the coterie and all the other raiders and some change grifting gangs all over the place here. Women dying in a place like this is not too out of the ordinary. It's the flowers that connect it all, which is why I'm so willing to help here.
I retrieved a sack of human remains for you. Didn't you show it to the guard?
I did. They said the remains could have been gathered together by scavengers looking for bits of gold and jewelry.
Well, that'd be mighty
They
convenient,
said there
wouldn't
was
it?
no way to tell if the remains even belonged to the missing women. I had no choice but to continue the investigation on my own.
Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you're like a dog with a bone with this. Somebody's got to look out for this place.
What have you learned about Gascard Du'Puis?
He's a reclusive nobleman who's rarely seen outside his estate in Hightown. He knew 2 of the murdered women and made inquiries about the others. It cannot be a coincidence.
Doesn't necessarily make him a suspect, but it does make him involved, at least to a slight degree. He has interest, so now I have interest.
It should be investigated at least.
Thank you. I faced nothing but ridicule. To hear someone say that is encouraging.
It's very discouraging that you face nothing but ridicule.
Were you the only person investigating these murders?
Yes, unfortunately. The Templar Order believes this is a matter for the City Guard. And the City Guard, well, women are dying out there.
Okay, we already had all these dialogue
no one's
lines.
doing anything.
Well, of course we'll help.
What do you need me to do?
I knew I could count on you. You'll need to go to Gascard Du'Puis' estate after nightfall. Please figure out what Du'Puis is hiding. If he's innocent, find evidence to prove me wrong. It's just that simple.
We will certainly get on that one. And you, Isabella, I expect you to be way less pissy about this time. Now that we're romantically involved, I expect you to support my decisions a little more than you did in the past. So, also, I should add that in between episodes, I did totally go through the nighttime cycles of all the different locations and clear those gangs up. I didn't feel like it was record-worthy to go through all the just the open world stuff again, so I did that off camera. So we did make a couple gold out of that, but we spent most of it getting our respecs and everything handled, so. But we're getting back up there in money. I did find a merchant that had a really cool weapon that I wanted for our hawk too, but unfortunately we didn't have the gold for it. It was 27, I believe, and I think that merchant spawning is a random chance. But when I get up to like 30 sovereigns, I'll go investigate. I'll go check it out. See what that's all about. I think I know what fight I'm going to do for the build showcase too, so there is a secondary quest we got called Herbalist Tasks, and I've been doing this off camera because there's really nothing to it. But there's a Varterral fight in this section of the quest, and I think this fight might be a really good one to showcase the build, so I will use that as the build showcase. Have a save before we go in here, just in case. Also, you can totally see how much I save in these games. This is episode, what, 25, and we're at 502 saves. Save your games, everybody. There's actually something really interesting that just came out that surprised the hell out of me, actually, but it's an Oblivion remaster. And boy, am I interested in an Oblivion remaster. Barrage. And you see how quickly we attack with this. It is a shredder. Very much a shredder. And you see how good my tactics are playing too. The fatigue and fog all over the floor. Everybody's staggered or disoriented. Very good. It seems like we're handling the stamina requirements of Berserk very well now in respect too, which is also very good. It's gonna be the end of him. What the hell is this? There we go. No chance.
I think Gascard's expecting us.
You think? Yeah, what I was going to say there, before I was rudely interrupted by the Demon Horde, was, they just remastered Oblivion, and I was looking into some clips of that game, and the graphics and art style that they've spruced that up with look phenomenal. So I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that you guys can expect a Oblivion remastered playthrough on the channel, because I would love to play that game for you guys. I thank you, no. Gascard. Thank you kindly for your last shipment. It arrived in almost perfect condition. The requested payment is on its way. Please use the artifact with care. The creatures can be difficult to control, even for an experienced mage. A pleasure doing business. Your friend.
Looks like Gascard's been busy.
It does indeed. And we know it was a mage when we went to the Dark Foundry. The person that fled from us and ran away, that was a mage that fled. But that doesn't necessarily mean it was this mage. I'm here to investigate him investigating the disappearances, not to swing the headman's axe. What is it Jack Reacher always says? An investigation assumption skill. You're getting to see the chainsaw nature of this build that I was telling you guys about when it picks up. I'm a big fan of the Angry Vanguard. I can't wait to show you my Angry Vanguard in Mass Effect too. That's going to be fire. A reply from Starkhaven. Monsieur Du'Puis. This is in regards to your inquiry into missing mages. I would like to remind you that the duty of seeking out missing mages, if there were any to begin with, would not fall to the Templars of Starkhaven, not to minor noblemen from Kirkwall, would fall to the Templars of Starkhaven. I would also like to take this opportunity to remind you that the Circle of Magi, as a whole, does not welcome casual inquiries about the mages in its care. Thank you. First Enchanter Varric. So he was...
Gascard was trying to locate a particular mage in Starkhaven.
Yeah, he's been on this for a while. And I guess it's not unique to Kirkwall. I guess whatever serial killer this is was acting around inside Starkhaven too. At least that would be the implication from him inquiring about that. Vials of blood. Oh, good.
I think these have been used in blood magic.
You think? Your powers of observation are inspiring. Well, that makes my investigation of this guy a little more precarious, for him at least. I'm not fond of blood magic. Meredith's apology. This will be what Emeric told us about, I assume, of them raiding his mansion. Monsieur Du'Puis, please accept my humble apologies for recent events. The Templar, Emeric, has been reprimanded for his wrongful accusations and for arousing suspicions within the city guard that led to the raid on your estate. I will see that he is restrained in future. Sincerely yours, Knight Commander Meredith.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
So I am wondering if Meredith is aware that he is a mage. I suspect not, based on what I know about Chest of Clothes.
That's strange. I haven't seen any sign of a woman's touch in this house. Whose clothes are these?
Yeah, I suspect Meredith is not aware
His wife's clothing. He had so
that
much
he is a
fun with
mage,
it.
because I don't think she'd be affording him such grace, shall we say. Given that he's a suspect, according to one of our Templars. Is he not a known mage? I guess not. The gods didn't find the blood vials.
Help me, please! He's gone mad!
You're not him. Shit, I know what this looks like, but I didn't hurt her.
Well, we'll talk about that after you let her go.
Let her go, and we can talk. If I let her go, you'll kill me.
Not
I
necessarily.
don't know why you're here, but there's a killer out there, and I think he's playing us both. Just let me explain. You don't have to be afraid. I'll hear what you have to say. Several years ago, my sister was murdered. The bastard's now in Kirkwall, killing again. The same way he killed my sister. It starts with a bouquet of white lilies. He sends them to each new victim. Alessa was going to be next.
You kidnapped her
I
to
took
save her.
so he'd have to come to me. I was finally going to face my sister's killer, but then you showed up.
He's lying! He hurt me!
I've explained this. I need your blood to track you down. If he took you, it was for your protection.
Let go of me!
She'll go straight to the city guard. They'll ruin everything.
You're not going to stop her from running away from you. Let me just tell you that outright.
I could report you to the Templars for blood magic. Yes, I've used blood magic and lyrium to augment my powers. I'm not proud of what I've done, but I had to. He took my sister from me.
Well, this is getting a little more complex.
Can't you just tell the city guard what you told me? Why? I don't want him arrested. This isn't about justice. I need to be the one to bleed him dry.
Well, I would argue that that is
More than
justice,
a bit creepy,
actually.
you know?
If somebody murdered your
Besides,
sister, I don't think him
they probably
being
wouldn't
locked
even
behind
hear me out.
bars for the rest of his life, thinking about how he chopped her head off or whatever he did. I don't think that's justice. I think what this guy wants is actually justice. And I think I said inside the episode with the child killer, inside the Deep Roads, but sometimes there isn't justice. Sometimes all you can do is avenge somebody, and that's the next best thing and the only option you have. And I think this guy is probably on the right track here. I'm not gonna disagree with him though.
Emeric was certain you were the killer. Of course he was. But I was trying to find the killer just like him. Our paths crossed and he just assumed I was the murderer.
Well, you don't look like the mage that I saw in the Dark Foundry.
He'll want to know what happened here. Tell him whatever you like. I'll be long gone by then. Who killed your sister? A powerful and experienced blood mage. I believe he uses the women for some ritual. His victims are attractive, healthy women with few social ties.
Well, I'd say we ought to team up here, because I do believe him. I believe him wholeheartedly. He's not the mage we saw in the Dark Foundry, at least not dressed the same right now. And that woman is very much alive. If this guy was a serial killer, why would she not be dead? The women's clothing in the house, maybe he took some of her stuff so she'd be comfortable. There's some unanswered questions here, but like I said before, if you don't know, you don't know, and you can't start chopping heads. So for now, let's see if this dude is interested in a team up.
I can help you track down your sister's killer. No, I can manage on my own. I'm
I
headed to
sincerely
Darktown.
doubt it.
If you learn anything new about the killer, find me there. I have a score to settle with him.
That I am inclined to agree with. Now, there's no winning with you, Isabella, is there? You don't like when I help the women, you don't like when I don't help the women. Well, shit. Yeah, there's some unanswered questions here, like why he has all the clothing in this room and the beds. There's some unanswered questions there, but if he's been taking the women to save them from the serial killer, despite him being a blood mage, we can handle that later. Bigger fish, right? We can handle the blood magic thing after we stop the serial killer. For now, I'm way more interested in saving lives than throwing him to a mob. Maybe later down the road we can get two birds with one stone, right? Maybe we can take care of both those problems together, hopefully. I guess for now we gotta go talk to Emeric and tell him that, again, his instincts are pretty spot on. He nailed it in general. He might not be the killer, but he has direct information on the killer, and now we know more.
Andraste herself said magic.
Aren't you Hawk? Emeric left not long ago. He said you'd arranged to meet tonight.
That did not happen.
Perhaps you're mistaken.
I am not mistaken. You sent him a message a half hour ago. Look.
I didn't send this.
You didn't? Strange. Well, I don't know. Emeric's been acting strangely for months. It's probably just a misunderstanding.
No, I don't think it is. I think that's... Oh, the killer's taking our name too, huh? Well, that's even more reason to lop his head off. Where did he try and meet Emeric? In a blind alley. Well, I hope we get there in time for this. Get that dog up. Let's save before we walk into whatever this is going to be. That looks like Emeric. Damn it. My My stamina is staying up very well right now. Very well. Oh, I got stunned right there. Come on, all quicky wiggy. He's doing good on health so far.
Some mage sent that thing here to kill him. Why would anyone... Oh, Maker. The murders. Emeric was right. He was getting too close. He suspected a man named Gascard Du'Puis. Did he do this?
I don't think so.
Gascard was only a small piece of the puzzle. I think he's innocent.
We should have believed Emeric. I thought he was just trying for one last shot at glory.
You should have believed
Whoever
him.
did this is a dangerous apostate that Meredith will want found. I will see to it personally.
I hope you do
Thank you for your
better
help
than
in
the
this
rest of
matter.
your order in the City
If you
Guard.
learn anything more, please come to me.
That I will definitely do. Man, that's a burning shame about Emeric. He was right the whole time. And whatever blood mage is doing all this, he must have some pretty good clout blood magic wise to be summoning desire demons and that amount of shades. Of course, one Templar against all that is not going to be able to do much. I'm not surprised Emeric's dead, but that's a lot of demons, and it seems like he summoned them and then just bailed, ran away. He didn't even stay to watch, so not even to mention the amount of havoc those demons could have caused after they were done here with Emeric. They would have been all over the city. Now, I would hope that we can maybe do something about this further, but I suspect... yeah, we can't do anything else with that. We have an update from Varric in the Hanged Man, at least. And the rest of the stuff is just gonna go on its merry way. Yeah, I don't think Gascard Du'Puis is responsible for that. He said he would be in Darktown. This is obviously not Darktown. And I don't think he would have had time to forge my letter. But it means the serial killer knows about us personally, which I'm not too fond of. That could quite easily go wrong if he ends up getting a little vendetta against us for what we've been doing here. We have been personally trying to fuck him over. Oh, that was gambling for a second.
Do you ever feel like the world's getting simpler? Like everything from eating to fighting is a lot less complex than it used to be.
Oh my god, the NPC is becoming self-aware.
Hawk, I've got some news. You might not want to be near anything breakable when I tell you, though.
Well, this sounds like it's gonna be pleasant.
Varric, whatever you have to tell me, it'll be fine.
I know. I've had an ear out for Bartrand. After the Deep Roads, he ran to Ravane, probably because he knew I couldn't track him. But I hear he might be back in Kirkwall. He called in loans from a few of his contacts in Hightown.
That's very reckless of him.
Was he staying in Hightown, or just passing through?
If my information is good, and it's always good, he has a house there. Which gives us a good shot at having a word with my dear sweet brother.
Well, I would like that.
How are you holding up, Varric?
Me? My no-account backstabbing brother is practically in arm's reach. I couldn't be better.
Would Bartrand really risk coming back here?
I think we both know by now that Bartrand would risk anything for money. There's a much better market here for that trinket he stole, and all his contacts are in Kirkwall.
Let's go have a conversation then, shall we?
We need some answers from your brother.
I agree. Bianca's been missing him something awful.
I'm sure Varric could do with some closure on this.
Welcome him back to the neighborhood and all that.
That's 20 friendship on him just for having that conversation. So now we have the Family Matter side quest. So Isabella, unfortunately, you're gonna have to take a little time out. Hope you don't miss me too much. And Varric is gonna need some level up time. So attributes. Where do we have you, Varric? Let's give you 30 dex. Get you halfway to the next X requirements for... Let's just make it 36, actually. That seems like it should be okay. And for the rest of you, let's take a look at what you have. You have no fatiguing fog for us at all. So you're going to be significantly less impactful with all the cross-class combos than Isabella has currently been. Need 3 points in sabotage, huh? Alright, let's just get it so that he can do Fatigue and Fog eventually. I think his tactics are all probably pretty much okay here. I guess the only thing we'll add in is enemy clustered. With at least 3. And then we'll have you use the flask until you can use what we need you to use. Now, you need a slight change in one of your tactics. Yes, instead of Isabella, that needs to be Varric. Oh, you know what? Let's not mess with the tactics. Let's not mess with his party tactics. I'll keep his tactics where they are, and then I'll just heal Varric myself. I'm only going to use Varric for this little side quest, so I shouldn't need him too aggressively. Because Isabella is my mainstay for this act, so... What did we get? Inside job. Orc. I found a lead on our cargo thefts and have urgent need of your expertise. Please meet me in Hightown's market during business hours. Hubert. That would be our bone pit guy. Hubert is the guy who's running the bone pit with us, so we'll definitely take care of that. First things first, though, to wrap this episode and see it out, we'll take care of Bartrand. I have a pretty urgent need to speak to Bartrand after he abandoned me in the deep roads to die. That would have cost my family a lot, potentially, if I had not made it out of there, so... Needless to say, we're gonna have a chit-chat with Bartrand. I want him to look his brother in the eye and explain why he decided to be such a piece of shit over a small lyrium idol that he could have sold and profited from regardless. But he say he just didn't want to split it 3 ways, right? Not even an attempt to negotiate. And again, I said it at the time, but I can totally see him snaking Hawk out. Snaking your brother out, however, I do not.
I don't get it. My sources saw people making deliveries here just a week ago. This looks like it's been empty for months.
As somebody who has 2 brothers, I would not sell them out for any amount of money in the world.
This is still our best lead. We might find something that'll take us to Bartrand.
My thoughts exactly.
In fact, I would have blown those entire deep roads to smithereens and lost all the money I had already invested for my brothers. Never mind abandoning them to die with Darkspawn. Now here you're gonna have some of Varric's embellishments.
So that's how you greet your brother, is it, Bartrand? Fine. Say hello, Bianca. Bianca, baby, you want a piece of me?
Although I will say I do wish Varric did this level of damage by himself.
You will regret me!
It would be nice if he did this level of damage in reality, wouldn't it?
You're pathetic! I'll take you all! I'll take you all!
Yeah, I wish Bianca had that level of knockback and beat to her. I wonder. There's nothing in that guy. Sons of bitches. Yeah, and Varric's tall tales are quite interesting to watch play out in this game. And I kind of like that they did this. They have him embellish certain things.
Let's dance, you sons of bitches!
They just explode on impact.
You sons of bitches!
Kicking them, Varric. Let them know.
Bartrand! I'm coming for you, you nut-humping bastard! I'll take you all!
Mug humping bastard.
I'll take you all!
Basically call him a pig fucker. One, two, three.
Oh, Varric, please forgive me, my brother. I was just jealous of you. How could I ever compete with you for Mother's love?
You're strong and handsome, and so very smart.
I think she's catching on Varric.
Why lie now about this? What have you to gain?
What do you want from me? I broke in, I found my brother, and it was awkward. Family business.
No. I think there's more to it.
Fine. You want the gory details? I'll give you the gory details.
He is quite the storyteller. That one shot where he killed like 3 of them all in one shot, it reminded me of the Deadpool scene. Alright, Bartrand. I'm sure this whole place is full of nonsense.
These corpses aren't even stiff yet, Hawk. Somebody...
Well done, everyone.
Well done indeed.
Brother, do to these men. They were completely out of their heads.
We're gonna get a lot of explanations. Remember a couple episodes ago when we were in the Sebastian arc and I said to pay attention to how things unfold in Kirkwall and the kind of influences that is going on with people here? Well, this questline is no exception to that. See, all these people have lost their minds. All Bartrand's hired help seem to have gone completely insane. And from what we know of Bartrand, he's not the spellcaster type. So he's not responsible for them losing their shit like this. Good job with the stone fist. Oh yeah, pile into the fucking line of fire. God, I love this build. Yeah, the fight is very over. The style and grace. And it looks like shit, it looks like they even did their fair share of killing each other, not just attempting to kill my ass. It looks like they were taking care of each other too, in amongst their insanity.
Now that's just rude. What are they trying to do? Ruin my boots? Easy as pie.
Wouldn't want that, would we, Varric? I want all of you to come in here with me because, yeah, something told me we weren't done with that. One thing I would like to point out too is all this is additive. So when you get the 50% attack speed boost from when you get the 50% attack speed boost from Barrage, and then you get whatever it is from haste, and then you also get the 30% from fervor. That's all stacked. That's all additive. So if you think we're swinging fast now, wait until we get fervor. Yeah, wait until we get fervor. Then you're gonna see some insane animation speed starting to pop up here. It's gonna get real juicy.
Don't you?
Try. The reason we became such good friends, Varric. Now I'll happily take all the gold from their corpses.
Bartrand, what have you done?
Don't have a bag over his head? No, it's just his hood, okay. Yeah, these men look like they were just executed. Doesn't look like infighting. They look executed. Well, this side door here takes us into the main hall. Jesus. That's a problem. Nothing Berserker Vanguard can't fix though, right? Quick health reco from my Reaver tree.
I'll deal with this! Get back!
Adrenaline. Get everybody back inside the meat grinder. Beautiful.
Varric, is that you? Praise the ancestors.
Hold up. I know this man. He's Bartrand's steward. Hugin, what happened here?
Varric, your brother. That statue he brought out of the deep roads. Bartrand said it sang to him, even after he sold it. I've been hiding in here, but the guards, they're like crazed animals. I didn't dare go past them. Everyone in this house has gone mad.
You seem like you're holding up okay.
What did he do to the guard to turn them to this?
He's been forcing them to eat lyrium. Some of the servants, he cut pieces off them while they were still alive. He says he's trying to help them hear the song. Please stop him.
Bartrand's not exactly a nice guy, but this doesn't sound like my brother.
Cutting pieces off servants and making the retainers eat lyrium. It's a hell of a crime.
You said he sold the statue. To who?
I don't know. It's why we came back to Kirkwall. He was already starting to rant about the sodding idol and his singing. On his better days, he hated the thing. Wanted to get rid of it. But the minute it was gone, he got worse.
I haven't seen anyone alive in here except for guards. What happened to the rest of the staff?
I don't know what Bartrand did to them. By the ancestors, the sounds coming from his study. They're dead by now. I hope.
He hopes.
What do you mean you hope they're dead?
Just whoever, whatever you find in that room. Varric, give them a merciful death.
Everything will be all right. You're safe now.
I wish I believed that, human. Bartrand took the servants and locked himself inside the study. No one's come out for days. And those sodding lunatics just keep prowling the halls.
Well, there's significantly less lunatics.
Come on, Hawk. Let's finish this.
Yeah. So, we know a little about red lyrium from other Dragon Age titles. We know that it's black corrupted. We know what it does to people's minds. We know it can have influence over people's minds. Red lyrium is literally black corrupted lyrium, so it's darkspawn tainted lyrium. And lyrium itself would be blood of the Titans, which also have a lot of magical power. So there's a lot of things here. Now, I don't know if you can excuse torture and murder and mutilation and forced digestion of an addictive, harmful substance with... I mean, look at this. You can't justify this by saying somebody lost their mind. Whether that's Bartrand anymore or whether it isn't, you can't allow this to continue. And remember what I've been saying about justice, and sometimes the lack of justice, which really only leads you to be able to avenge people. And Bartrand is a son of a bitch. And all his guards that just tried to kill me, well, they're just like muscle for hire. They didn't deserve that, but it's not necessarily something I'm gonna lose sleep over. But the elven servants that are basically just cherry-picked out of the alienages trying to make a living for their families, them being mutilated and tortured so they can hear some song, whatever that means, I am not okay with that.
Sing a song for me. Go! Go for the face!
Let's get rid of his gods in the meantime. Actually might be about to see one of the flaws for the Berserker tree, which is one of the only flaws that exist for this build, as it's quite bad in boss fights if you don't cook stamina draughts.
I can't hear it anymore.
Actually got him down pretty quickly, but it can be a little lackluster against bosses. It's way better against Adclear.
I know I shouldn't have sold the idol to that woman. It was a mistake. A mistake.
Bartrand, get a hold of yourself. Do you know where you are? Do you know what you've done?
Varric, you'll help me, won't you, little brother? Help me find it again. You were always a good one.
Help you? Bartrand, you left me to die. You left all your men to die. And for what? Some trinket? Look at yourself. Look at what you've done to the men and women who served you. Where's your nobility, brother? Where's your dwarven honor?
And that title right there, or sorry, that sentence right there shows a lot of who Varric is. Where's your nobility? Where's your dwarven honor? Look at what you've done to the men and women who served you. Like I said, Varric is a people person. So to Varric, this is all reprehensible, because Varric is all about the people that serves. He's all about honor. He's all about nobility and a sense of duty to the small guy. And Bartrand shat all over all of that and everything he's done. Do you know what the fuck's going on here, Anders? You know any of this?
This doesn't feel natural. If he wasn't a dwarf, I'd think a demon did this. His mind has been poisoned by something powerful. That's all I can do. It won't last, I'm sorry.
Varric?
I'm here.
Varric, what have I done?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Make it stop, little brother. Don't let me... Don't let House Kethris fall like this. I know. I don't deserve it. But please, Varric, don't leave me like this. Make it stop.
Enough with the speeches. I'll get you to a healer, and you'll be fine.
Man, that's a tough call to make. Because if something can be done here to fix him, then it makes let's get him out of here a lot more appealing than this. would have otherwise been, but at the same time, he hadn't even touched the lyrium idol yet at the time that he toasted us inside the vault. And what was his servant saying? That they were in Ravine and he started like bugging. So he sold it in Kirkwall and then left to Ravine and then went nuts and came back for it. So you gotta wonder how much of what he did was just him and nothing to do with that idol. Whether he was being manipulated or not, there are alternatives to what he did. You don't have to torture and mutilate all these people. You don't have to do any of that. Like, imagine if you... Because he clearly has some kind of cognizance left, right? When he saw Varric, he was like... Before Anders even did what he did, he said, like, Varric, little brother, you'll get the lyrium idol for me, won't you? Like, so he is somewhat aware. He knows that he was losing his mind. And instead of... Well... instead of taking the better way out of this situation, he decided to torture and mutilate and destroy his whole house. I would sooner take myself out of an equation than fold and succumb to this. Even in just a moment of lucidity, which he has surely had multiple of, he chose to some degree to let all this happen, and it's his actions that made all this happen in the first place. And what's the alternative, right? What do? Do we just lock him up in a cellar or a basement somewhere and hope for the best? Like, what do we do here? We can avenge the people that he's murdered and mutilated and tortured. Make sure this doesn't happen again. But then on the other side, he sold it to somebody. And he clearly remembers who he sold it to, because he said, I shouldn't have sold it to that woman. So he knows that he sold it on, and if the Red Lyrium Idol did this to him, then we need to find out where it went, because it will surely do it to other people. So it's a balance of checks. Do we avenge people, or do we avenge people that aren't yet victims? And I think the important balance there is that we need to find the Red Lyrium Idol to stop there being future victims. What's done is already done, but if we leave him alive, we have a chance to stop more being done. And so, for the sake of Varric's conscience, and for the sake of the future, I think I'm gonna let him live here, which is not the decision I have always made, but I think that's what I would do here, just so we can question him and find out where he put it.
I doubt that staying in this house is helping his condition.
I'll send someone to come get him. Sit tight, brother. Help is on the way. Come on, Hawk. The sooner we get out of this house, the better.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Varric! I can't hear the song anymore!
Honestly, Bartrand, think that might be a good thing, that you can't hear the song anymore. Maybe if we just isolate him and lock him up over time, maybe he'll just unfuck himself. I mean, I doubt it, but it's a possibility, right? And this would take us right back to Hightown. Let's get out of this house and see if there's anything else to be done with Varric.
Did you need something, Varric?
A stiff drink, maybe. I feel like I've been kicked by a horse. I almost wish Blondie hadn't wiggled his fingers and cleared Bartrand's head. I liked it better when I just wanted to kill the bastard.
If I ever had doubts about who was the better brother, they're long gone. You did good.
We never had doubts, let's be honest.
There was never any doubt. I'm the handsome, irresistibly charming one. I'll deal with Bartrand somehow. Make her that'll be even more of a joy than it used to be. I still can't believe what he did in that house. It's one thing to walk away and leave us to die, but that...
Well, for what it's worth, I think the statue did play a part in that.
He didn't do this on his own. The artifact from the tide warped his mind.
I'm glad Hawk is not absolving him.
Off the hook.
We didn't. He said he had help, not that he wasn't him.
Himself. Anyway,
Agreed.
Thank you. I'll keep looking into who bought that blighted statue. At the very least, they need to be warned about what happened.
It does kind of leave you to wonder, what would have happened if he hadn't stolen that, because if he didn't, then that statue would have been with Hawk for way, way longer than it was, right? That would have been a situation that would have maybe placed us right up shit creek. Now, I'm not sure on that certain, but you do kind of have to wonder if we had kept that Red Lyrium idol as we were exploring around the deep roads and we took it instead of Bartrand betraying us. I wonder what would have ended up coming of that with the rest of our party. Would it have drove Meryl, Anders, me, Isabella? Would it have eventually cooked all of our minds? Is it low-key a blessing that Varric's brother stole it and did what he did? Does make you wonder. What can I do for you, my friend?
You have got to hear this, Hawk. There's this tale making the rounds. They're saying you single-handedly fought off a pirate invasion at midnight on the sacred ground of the Chantry.
That's not entirely out of the blue. We did fight a bunch of pirates in Chantry grounds for Isabella.
Strange that people would get such an idea out of the blue.
I may have embellished a detail or two here and there. A little.
Only a little, huh?
Added a few things that didn't happen. For pacing, you understand.
Pacing is a crucial part of the narrative.
Don't be surprised if people seem in awe.
What compels you to spin these ridiculous tales?
I love the sound of my own voice. And I'm a compulsive liar.
At least you're honest about that, I suppose.
It's just something I do. There's power in stories, though. That's all history is. The best tales, the ones that last. Might as well be mine.
I approve of that kind of sentiment. Minus the whole lie part.
I find it hard to believe you're spreading these stories without getting something in return.
Well, that just shows what you know, Hawk. The stories are their own reward. You really need to see the look on someone's face when I tell them you ripped the arms off an ogre. Just once.
Man, I like Varric.
Wouldn't it make more sense for you to be the main character in these tall tales of yours?
There's a recipe to a good hero, Hawk. It's like alchemy. 1 part down to earth, 1 part selfless nobility, 2 parts crazy, and you season liberally with wild falsehoods.
Season
Let that
liberally.
percolate through a good audience for a while, and when it's done, you've got your hero.
There's something to that, I think.
And exactly how many taverns have heard this particular story?
I only frequent the nice ones. Where it goes afterward is anybody's guess. You may not be my best dressed or cleanest friend, Master Hawk, but you're all right in my book.
And you're all right in mine.
I'll quit exaggerating before it goes to your head.
Varric really is the Garrus of Dragon Age, honestly. There's the self-aware NPC. Yeah, I really do think Varric is the Garrus of Dragon Age. He's like the ultimate road dog best friend character that you could ever have in these games. I think that's why I end up going so far, is because that's just what he is. It's part of the character itself. Even in Inquisition, he's like that with the Inquisitor. And in Veilguard, I guess for the time that he's with us, he's like that to Rook too. That's 25 fizz, we won't be using that. Let's say 24, won't be using that. Won't be using that. The Enchanted Staff is 33 fire damage, but it has way less on it than the things that I'm using for my people. Those won't be good for us. The Stonehammer boots, nah, they don't have attack speed. It's not going to work for us either. Stacking attack speed is very important for obvious reasons for the build that we're currently going with. Just want to take a quick look through. I did save a Make a Sai, but I haven't decided who I want to use that on yet. I did respec the whole party to give them new juice. I'm not sure who I would like to respec actually. Perhaps Varric. Maybe I'll respec Varric for Act 3. Pull him into the chaos with us. It could work. Anyways, now that those 2 quests are all wrapped up, that does seem like a perfect point to wrap this episode up, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, you want to support what I do here, then please do check out my Patreon. That is where I write full written reviews of games we complete on the channel. Currently there's only 2 up because I started doing it after my Veilguard series. So right now it's Dragon Age the Veilguard and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Those are the 2 series I have full written reviews on. I'll also do Q&As at certain subscriber milestones. So if you guys are ever interested in that in the future, you want to get ahead of the curve and support me before we take off, then that's a nice way to do that too. There's also updates that I post on there about upcoming projects, what games I'm thinking about playing next. So if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, or if you just want to support me, go ahead and check out my Patreon. There is a free tier as well as a paid tier, but the free tier supports me just as much, so any generosity is greatly appreciated. All that aside, stay tuned, and I will see you soon with more Dragon Age 2. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.